It's Tuesday, October 17. In the headlines, public transportation fare increase effective this week. In business news, IDB PBCJ collaborate to launch Empower Jamaica initiative. Regionally, Grenada to host Caribbean Tourism Organization's conference in 2024. And internationally, hospitals across the Gaza Strip are at breaking point. In sports, Reggae Boys focused on quarterfinals of the 2023 CONCACAF Nations League. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Members of the public will be paying more on public transportation as of this week. Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport Daryl Vaz announced a 19% increase in public transport fares effective Sunday, October 15, 2023, and a 16% increase effective April 2024. Making the disclosure in a statement to Parliament last Tuesday, Minister Vaz said the fare hike was granted in a bid to cushion the impact of increased operational costs.
I'm mindful that the challenges of our current economic climate affect every stratum of society, including those who have invested in the transportation industry. Hence, the subcommittee had meticulously integrated a multidimensional approach into crafting a fair and equitable fare adjustment proposal.
Minister Vaz says the staggering increase includes a portion of a 25% raise that did not materialize when a fare hike was granted 2 years ago. Prime Minister Andrew Holness wants Jamaicans to answer the call to become heroes as the country continues its journey towards peace and progress. He made the call while delivering his National Heroes Day message on October 16.
We need our society to be a society of heroes who do the right things, say the right things, and live in the right ways that promote harmony in our society. As we recognize the need for more Jamaican heroes.
He says every Jamaican can be a hero by contributing to their community and showing support to civil servants like security personnel and workers of the National Solid Waste Management Authority.
We need heroes who will uplift our country by fostering meaningful dialogue instead of engaging in destructive misinformation practices that create strife, discontent, discord, and hostility in our society. Our individual actions in our circle of influence, whether it be amongst our friends, families, churches, schools, clubs, and groups, have a profound impact on our country as a whole. We cannot allow our society to sink into moral, intellectual, social, and economic depression.
He says the nation's 7 heroes exemplify what it means to be a hero and urges Jamaicans to reflect often on their legacy. Opposition leader Mark Golding says the sacrifices of the country's heroes changed the history of Jamaica and their legacies are etched into the country's identity.
It is with great pride and honor that we honor them for what they did for us. They epitomize the unbreakable spirit of unity that defines us as Jamaicans.
He is urging Jamaicans to continue the work of the national heroes to achieve full decolonization by removing the King of England as head of state.
And by removing his Privy Council as our final court of appeal. We must have faith in ourselves and in the great institutions like the Caribbean Court of Justice that we have conceptualized, funded, and brought into being to give our people access to quality justice.
124 individuals were bestowed national honors and awards at a ceremony held on National Heroes Day, Monday, October 16. The awardees beamed with pride as they were honored for exceptional contribution in various areas such as national security, business, industry, investment, philanthropy, and gallantry in Jamaica and the Caribbean. 4 individuals were awarded the Order of Jamaica this year, the nation's 4th highest national honor. Among those individuals is Member of Parliament for Manchester North East, Mr. Audley Shaw. He is the longest serving MP for that parish, having served about 40 years.
The Most Reverend Howard Kingsley Ainsworth Gregory for service in the field of religion.
Reverend Howard Gregory was consecrated as the 14th Bishop of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands in May 2012. He is the first Jamaican to serve as Archbishop of the West Indies. He has given outstanding service to the Anglican Church in Jamaica since his ordination as a deacon in 1973 and a priest in 1974.
Mr. Audley Fitz Albert Shaw, Commander of Distinction and Member of Parliament for sterling contribution to political administration in Jamaica.
Audley Shaw has served as Senator, Member of Parliament and Cabinet Minister. He was Minister of Finance and Planning, Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, with his last appointment being Minister of Transport and Mining. In 2017, he was named Regional Finance Minister of the Year for the Caribbean by Global Markets and Man of the Year Award by the Jamaica Observer.
Wayne Marshall Mitchell was among the honorees. He was awarded for his contribution to the field of entertainment, in particular reggae music. Omar Taurus Riley for contribution to reggae music and entertainment locally and internationally, and Miss Natalie Grace Thompson for her contribution to the development of Jamaican film and television industry for over 50 years. Jamaica Information Service host for the event, Stacey Ann Smith, caught up with her shortly after the event.
You know, I'm very proud to have been honored nationally for this industry, which in itself is a small industry in Jamaica, but an industry which is coming to light very quickly. And I accept this on behalf of the industry, not for me alone, because I alone cannot make films. It is an industry-wide thing. It is a group of people who make films.
And it is
Time now for the business report with Danita Rodney.
The Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PBCJ, in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, have launched the Empower JA initiative. The initiative seeks to fast-track the economic and social development of the country's micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, as well as large business entities. The initiative, coined Empower JA, Building Bridges for Business Success, will see the IDB and PBCJ jointly hosting a series of forums starting in November that will provide Jamaican firms with information and skills that will aid them in addressing business challenges. Now for your market updates. In foreign exchange trading for Friday, October 13, the US dollar sold for an average of $156.33. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $114.95. The pound sterling traded for $193.36, and the euro sold for $167.22. In GSE trading, the GSE index advanced by over 212 points. The junior market index advanced by over 19 points. The combined market index advanced by over 372 points, and the All Jamaican Composite Index advanced by over 192 points. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 105 stocks, of which 53 advanced, 33 declined, and 19 traded firm. Stocks advanced for Access Financial Services Limited, Blue Power Group Limited, and Caribbean Assurance Brokers Limited. Stocks declined for AMG Packaging and Paper Company Limited, Barita Investments Limited, and Elite Diagnostic Limited. Trading firm were 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited, Virgin Paints Jamaica Limited, and Carreras Limited. The overall volume leaders were JFP Limited with over 46 million units, Jamaica Producers Group Limited with over 4 million units, and Main Event Entertainment Group with over 3 million units. In regional stocks, in Trinidad and Tobago, Calypso Macro Index Fund posted 48 shares. On the Barbados Stock Exchange, Cave Shepherd and Company Limited was the sole security trading 5,000 shares. In regional business, the World Council of Credit Unions says Trinidad and Tobago's credit union sector is worth almost $3 billion in asset. As October is Credit Union Month, TTT's Business Insight take a look into the sector.
International Credit Union Day is observed on October 19. World Council of Credit Unions states Trinidad and Tobago has more than 700,000 credit union members. These people can access a variety of consumer loans, bursaries, and other financial services at competitive rates. Clico Credit Union, with over 16,000 members, has highlighted some of the new services the sector is preparing to offer the population. The credit union's Chief Executive Officer, Holland Tinkew, elaborates.
An initiative organized by the United Nations Capital Development Fund in conjunction with the Trinidad and Tobago International Financial Center to improve our digital payment infrastructure, not only at Clico Credit Union, but with the help of our co-implementers, the Cooperative Credit Union League of Trinidad and Tobago and RAND Credit Union. We aim to bring these solutions to the entire credit union movement.
President of the Central Finance Facility, Cooperative Society of Trinidad and Tobago, Letitia Telesford, at a recent budget breakfast forum, shares some of the improvements her organization would like to make.
We have submitted an application to the Ministry of Agriculture for 2 100-acre lots for credit union members, particularly credit union youth, to engage in smart agriculture.
She adds the credit union sector is also prepared to take advantage of the changes in the country's energy sector.
The CFF is also leading an IDB-financed green economy project so that the credit union movement can position itself as a key player in the green and blue economies.
UWI economist Dr. Marlene Atz at the same breakfast meeting points the sector to a new growth opportunity.
Arts, entertainment and recreation, what is now being called, the orange economy, ostensibly incentives being put in those places. To help that sector grow, we have 179 registered, so these are probably your DJs, who knows who these people are, registered. But I'm also highlighting these as potential opportunities for the cooperative sector to target.
With Chief Operating Officer of the Cooperative Credit Union League, Diane Joseph, calling for the establishment of a cooperative bank, the sector appears to be preparing itself to stand its financial ground.
In international business, Wall Street's main indexes ended sharply higher as investors were optimistic about the start of earnings season and remain upbeat about the economy despite the Israel-Hamas war in the Middle East.
The Dow added more than 0.9%, the S&P 500 gained more than 1%, and the Nasdaq jumped 1.2%. Investors were monitoring the Israeli war in Gaza, but appeared to be taking more of a risk-on stance, explains Ken Moraif, founder and CEO of Retirement Planners of America.
The stock market, in our view, responds to profits, not to human tragedies, misery, wars, et cetera, et cetera. So you may have noticed that as bad as the events in Israel have been, the market has basically shrugged it off and gone up. Why? Because as we look at those events, right now it appears they're going to be relatively contained within Israel and the Gaza Strip. And if that's the case, then how will that affect profits here in the U.S.? Not very much.
Consumer discretionary led gains among S&P 500 sectors, although all of the sectors were higher on the day. Third quarter earnings, now in full swing, are estimated to have increased 2.2% year over year, according to LSEG data on Friday. Charles Schwab shares jumped nearly 5% as the brokerage posted a smaller than expected drop in quarterly profit. and shares of Lululemon Athletica surged 10% as the Canadian sportswear apparel maker was set to join the S&P 500 index this week, replacing Activision Blizzard. Results from large banks Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, and Morgan Stanley are due this week, as well as those from electric vehicle maker Tesla and video streaming pioneer Netflix.
In market data for oil, oil steadied on Tuesday after sliding more than $1 the day before. Brent crude futures were up 12 cents at $89.77 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate crude was up 2 cents at $86.68. And that was the business report on PBCJ. I'm Denita Rodney.
In regional news, come April 22 to April 24, 2024, Grenada will host the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Conference on Sustainable Tourism Development.
Making the announcement via a video recording during the wrap-up press conference following the CTO State of Tourism Industry Conference held in the Turks and Caicos Island last week, Grenada's Minister of Tourism, Lennox Andrew, thanked the CTO for selecting the destination to host the important event. The conference plays a key role in disseminating information and increasing awareness of the CTO's vision related to sustainable tourism.
As a government and as a people, we are quite happy that the CTO has taken that decision to have that conference in Grenada. As most of the people would know, Grenada is indeed a very much heavily dependent tourism economy, with that industry contributing more than 15% to our gross domestic product. And therefore, holding that conference in Grenada would demonstrate the importance of the industry to Grenada, what we as a nation and as a people are doing and have been doing to develop the industry, and that we will be happy to receive the many guests and the many personnel linked to CTO from the Caribbean, from the World Bank, and from wherever else to come to Grenada to experience our warmth, our hospitality, and to get a sense of a new experience that the tourism industry in Grenada offers to people all over the world. And therefore for us, that conference means a lot to our economy and to our people.
The Caribbean Conference on Sustainable Tourism Development was last held in 2019 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The conference examines how member states can design and implement sustainable tourism policies and programs, offering a regional forum for information exchange on the successes and pitfalls of national, regional, and international initiatives. The opening day of the conference on April 22, 2024, coincides with the observance of Earth Day, which will be celebrated under the theme Planet versus Plastic. Christina John, GBN News.
Since 2020, Guyana has been on a relentless pursuit to diversify the agriculture sector, decreasing the heavy reliance on traditional crops and stressing the importance of agriculture in every school.
This birthed the Agriculture and Innovation Entrepreneurship Program, commonly known as the Shade House Initiative. This brainchild of President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali gives the youth the practical experience growing high-value crops in shaded areas. It is against the backdrop of increasing food production and underscoring the importance of agriculture that government will soon establish an agriculture section in every school across the country. This was announced on Monday by Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa.
NARI has already procured 100 shade houses that will move to different parts of the country to involve young people.
So far, there are over 200 young people managing the shade houses.
We have seen a number of young people coming forward, people who are graduates from Guyana School of Agriculture, who are graduates from the University of Guyana, the University of the West Indies, are now coming forward, are now involved in the program, and they are now delivering in that program.
With the expansion of the Shared House Initiative, Guyana's $2.6 billion food import bill of 2021 for high-value crops will drastically reduce. Due to the increase in production of these crops, there is a ready market for high-value crops locally and regionally.
In Trinidad and Tobago, business owners have been digging deeper into their pockets to protect their establishments and earnings from the criminal elements. They told CNC3 that securing their businesses is costing them millions of dollars.
Business owners have been forced to spend millions of dollars yearly to implement security measures to protect their lives, earning, and merchandise as the crime rate increases. President of the San Fernando Business Association, Daphne Bartlett, estimated their security cost to be in the millions.
About $6 million. We did a fair calculation.
Why? It's because of the services the business owners have been seeking, Bartlett said. They range from upgrading security cameras to...
You must have a security guard, at least one, in your store. And there are many business owners who require security on their way home, and some are even including them in their private property at home.
And she says the mounting expenses are crippling their businesses. In Port of Spain, where daring daylight robberies have been increasing, President of the Downtown Owners and Merchants Association, Gregory Aboud, told CNC3 News his members' security bill is higher.
It is our estimate that the annual cost, additional cost, of security in the city of Port of Spain is in excess of $10 million per annum.
This money is being used to pay for
daytime guard services, alarm systems, alarm monitoring systems, guard response services.
The majority of money spent, he said, focused on the protection of business places during the night and not on shoppers. It's why he makes a renewed call to the Finance Minister, Colin Imbert, to use a portion of the property tax to fight crime in the capital city, using the successful Business Improvement Districts concept in New York. As criminal elements continue to run amok in the country, Aboud said the business community has been feeling
defeated.
Shaliza Hassan Ali, CNC3 News.
In international news, hospitals across the Gaza Strip are at breaking point. Israel has asked 21 hospitals and clinics, including the largest Al-Shifa hospital in northern Gaza, to evacuate. These hospitals are not just treating thousands of injured Palestinians, but are sheltering hundreds of displaced families. Al Jazeera tells us more.
Despite continued Israeli airstrikes, doctors have refused to leave, saying that would mean death for critically ill patients and children on ventilators. At least 28 health workers and first responders have been killed, and 15 health centers, including hospitals, have been damaged. Hospitals across Gaza are now on the final hours of fuel reserves to run life-saving medical devices, including ventilators and dialysis machines. Morgues are overflowing, and the situation at Gaza's largest hospital is so dire, they're burying 100 bodies in a mass grave as an emergency measure. The World Health Organization says they're concerned about disease outbreaks in hospitals where there's little water or sanitation. The agency says life-saving aid for 300,000 patients is waiting to enter through Rafah, but so far, no truck has been allowed in. And Dr. Margaret Harris is a spokesperson for the World Health Organization. She joins us now from Geneva. Good to have you with us. So the facts I just read out, they point to a very alarming situation. Just take us through what Gaza is going to face in the next few hours if this total siege is not lifted.
Well, time is running out. The hospitals, as you said, are overwhelmed. Every moment they're getting more casualties. I mean, under circumstances like this, any normal hospital would be struggling because you don't have the supplies to treat the normal things you treat. But this is a situation where you're increasing what they have to do because every hour more people are injured. And now you've got people also who need care because they may become ill because they don't have their usual medications. Life-threatening illnesses like diabetes, like people with kidney failure who would normally get dialysis, these things are not happening. So you've got more and more people who are severely ill. And you also have the people who've been suffering enormous mental trauma, days and days of no sleep, terror, uncertainty. They too will be becoming people who cannot cope with what's going on around, but there's nothing for them.
In sports, Reggae Boys will now turn their attention to the quarterfinals of the 2023 CONCACAF Nations League after topping League A Group B with 10 points over Honduras, who finished second with 7 points. The Reggae Boys played 4 games and won 3. The other game ended in a draw. Jamaica will face either Costa Rica or Canada in the next round. Cricket's return to the Olympics for the first time since 1900 has been confirmed after International Olympic Committee members voted to include the sport in the 2028 Games.
Flag football, squash, lacrosse and baseball, softball have also been accepted for Los Angeles. Only 2 delegates at the IOC session in Mumbai on Monday voted against the new sports. There is expected to be both a T20 men's and women's tournament. Organizers for the LA Games have proposed a 6-team event, but no firm decision has been made on the number of teams or how they will qualify. The final event program and number of athlete quotas in the additional sports will be finalized at a later date. Host cities are able to propose sports they would like added to the Olympic program when they stage the event. The United States is co-hosting the Men's T20 World Cup with the West Indies in June 2024 and is set to field a side as host nation at the LA Games. Meanwhile, Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Shallow gave his initial reaction to the latest announcement of cricket in the LA 28 Olympic Games.
Opportunities for players. It means that cricketers now have another world event that they could aspire to play in. I'm sure that will motivate players. It means that more national interest as well, more investment nationally. We still have to explore and discuss within the region how we are going to be going about identifying those teams to participate in the LA 28 Olympic. But what I could say from this point, it's quite exciting for us. We are happy for any additional opportunities that players are going to get to exploit and expose their talent.
And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks so much for watching, and do remember, we are the People's Station.